to come. So she's going to tell you a little bit about, I kind of got to know her through the interview that we did online, if y'all saw it. But here you go, Miss Beautiful Leah. She's awesome. There you go.
All right.
I want to thank God first. He's amazing. And he does make a way where there seems to be no way. And I want to thank my husband in absentia. He allows me to do what I love to do best. And I want to thank 3 kids who does ministry with me. And this tells me to keep running. Yeah. This tells me that no matter the storm, there's a still voice that's saying, run, run, run. Set Apart Global Ministries is a ministry that I started in 2014, but it started off as Go Set Apart because it's something that I started out of a passion and a calling. Actually, God was saying you have to do it. When you are abused and molested and all your dignity is taken away, you lose yourself in the process. I was forced to be matured before I was. I was forced to be an adult before I was. And when you realize that it's been taken away from you, you want to just hide. You don't want anybody to know. And it took about 30 years. And God said, it's not about you. It's about me. I saw it happening. But I want you to tell the world. And I was raised in Africa. You don't tell anything that happened in your family. The family picture has to be perfect. And that's my story. But I said, God, I cannot share this. I cannot. And it was starting to affect my marriage. My husband didn't even know about that. It was starting to affect me as a person. And I ended up being in my pastor's office, and we're here in the United States at that time. And I said, there is a problem, I don't know what it is. Can you just fix me? And he said, let's go back to your childhood. And I was telling him about my childhood, I came to that point of the molestation. And that's when everything started. The healing started to take place. And I said, that's okay. And I told my husband about that. And he started to hold my hand and said, we're going to go through this together. But he was angry at the person who did this because this person was still alive. And so through the journey, I said, that's fine. I got my healing. And in my heart, I forgave that person. I was not in a place to even share with my family. I said, this is my story. But God finally said to me 7 years later, he said, I want you to share this with the world. And I said, I'll just share with the little girls in the neighborhood. And we were just doing some little parties called the Princess in Me because I felt like I was God's princess after having attend the women's conference. And I didn't know that there's something like that. And I'm like, oh wow, a princess. So I'm a princess. So I said, every little girl that is young needs to know that at a young age, by the time they grow up, they know who they are because I did not know. And I was doing that in the neighborhood. And later on, God said, no, I want you to go beyond the walls. And I said, God, that means I have to tell my family. This is not supposed to be known. But I said, finally, God, I have to tell my family. And it tore our family apart. I was molested by a relative, not even any of my family members, but it tore my family apart to the point that I was the one who believed, except for a few people. Then I realized that's why the world needs to know. If it is supposed to be a secret, the world needs to know. And I was not out there to share my family. I love my family to bits. I love them. But I said, we have to serve the families. This is how we serve the families. We cannot continue to hide the devil under the bushel. We have to expose him. And now, here we are. 2014, Go Set Apart. 5 years later, we have set up our global, that is included girls. I don't want to go into details about the ministry, but this is how we came to be. But it is so hard when you share your story all the time because you got into those places.
Yes.
But God will say, I want you to remember the place because I want you to know that I was there. But keep running, keep saving, keep telling the girls who they are, keep telling the boys as well who they are. Because if you continue to say the girls, who is going to marry the girls?
That's right.
Tell the boys as well. But it's nothing to do about my story. I haven't even seen my abuser. He's still alive. I haven't seen, but I do not care about the abuser. I have forgiven him, and it's entirely up to you because after today he says, I am not telling the truth. The more I hear that, the more I run. And so, my sister, thank you so much. Thank you for allowing God to use you to say, run, because I will continue to run. Thank you for giving me the wings to fly even higher. I will run in 2020 because he's telling us that you even have to make sure that you minister to the children, not only by telling them who they are in Christ, who God is, and what's their purpose, but you have to include teaching them everything all around, give them skills. That's why we're going to be including the STEM component into the ministry. We want to raise champions for Christ. We are raising men and women of the future. Our next president, who knows? But thank you for being part of that. Thank you so much.